and welcome to your nightly news. And boy, do we have a lot to report tonight.
This just in, a Caucasian male wearing a black vest and jeans has opened fire in Wheaton Mall, killing 43 people, leaving 27.
Wait, I'm getting something. Kim Ye are finally hitched. They exchanged vows on Saturday, and John Legend performed apparently, and the guests had really fancy, smashy food. But where was Jay-Z and Beyonce? I guess they weren't there, apparently. On to other news, and speaking of the Kardashians.
Kim posted another scandalous picture of her assets on Instagram. Shocker.
Not really.
Speaking of social media, there's a new dance craze sweeping the country. It's called the Flappy Bird.
But besides the new dance craze, Ashton Kutcher has been seen walking the dogs without his pregnant Mila Kunis. Could he be cheating, or could Mila Kunis be promoting her new movie, Jupiter Ascending, which also stars Channing Tatum, by the way? And have you seen their baby? Like, she's
there was
beautiful.
Also a mysterious villain spotted in the X-Men credits. Could it be a new character in the next movie?
We don't know. That's it for our segment, but the reporters Natalia and Caitlin have other news to share with you. Signing off.
So, the Malaysia plane is still missing after 5 weeks, and we're still talking about this. Crazy, right?
Since we've reported an issue that's been talked about for way too long, let's talk about the Michael Sam issue. Michael Sam is drafted to the NFL. And did y'all see that video on YouTube? He was there bootlegging with his boyfriend. Alright, let's make a big deal about this because homosexuality is so rare, right?
On to the real news. Best and worst celebrity beach bodies, mostly best, is trending higher than U.S. gets serious about military coup in Thailand.
And since it's Memorial Day weekend, let's talk about how to cook the perfect steak. Because I don't know why.
So, a fireman saved an elderly woman's cat. Woohoo! That's kind of part of their job, isn't it?
Nah, but let's take a moment of silence to remember the Oscars pizza delivery guy.
Wait a minute. I thought he was opening up his own pizza joint.
I don't know and I don't care, but that's all we have for you tonight. We'll catch you guys again next week.
Signing off.
So that was our interpretation of 21st century media coverage. I personally think that the news, or at least what is being broadcasted and reported on, has become more opinionated and more about persuading people instead of merely informing the public. On the nightly news, reporters kind of give their opinion more than they used to. Maybe not those on site, but those in the studios definitely do this. News reporters are supposed to be unbiased and simply recount domestic and international issues so their viewers can form their own opinion. But with 21st century media coverage, reporters give their 2 cents and start to state their opinion on the issues. I also think 21st century news has also changed what people find important. For most of us, or for a lot of us at least, the news that we hear about and see are the stories circulating on social media or the trending stories that we find on our home email webpage, and or on reports that we read in class. Unless we dig deeper or know other news sources like Huffington Post or U.S. News and World Report, that actually shed light on international issues, all the stories that we see are about celebrities, but Angelina Jolie's dress at the Oscars, or oh, this celebrity just cut their hair, while other important issues are scattered here and there and throughout. But I'm not saying that the only news that are out there about celebrities, but I think that because it captures the most attention, news producers and executives, that's why they feed those stories to the companies to broadcast that. Just the other day on Huffington Post homepage, the 2 big stories that were under the major Obama outlines foreign policy and landmark West Point speech was an article about the Maya Angelou's death, but beside it was a story about NHL players mastering the art of growing their playoff beard or whatever, which I found was really shocking because it kind of shows what people find important. I mean, obviously, because the NHL player story was advertised or presented by Coors Light, there was some advertising methods into that or motives, but the placement of the articles kind of show what people find important, or what find important, what they find newsworthy. We can only know so much unless it is presented to us either audibly or visually. And what is actually being presented to us today are things that will actually advance our global society. I think it will actually hinder us.
Based on reason, the media focuses more on entertaining rather than informing the public of issues, whether they are economic, political, military, or just generally global. Media broadcasts news that won't primarily protect the public, but will attract the public. You hear and see things now mainly about celebrities, what they have done, what they are doing, and what they are going to be doing. This stuff is not important and can't impact the individual lives of the public in any way. This logically should not be broadcasted because it is somewhat a waste. Nobody needs to know and should not be interested in the personal lives of any celebrity. Celebrities are just ordinary people who have done things in their own individual careers. Everything else is irrelevant. I'm not saying the media should cancel out and stop broadcasting news that entertain people, but I'm saying they should try to limit it. The media should be entertaining people, but should be mainly focusing on informing people about issues that can possibly change their lives. You don't want to keep the people bored, but still you want to make sure they are being educated about important and serious issues that can affect them either positively or negatively. Looking closer into math, the statistics of TMZ, Entertainment Tonight, and other sources of that type, mainly talking about celebrities, sports, food, and other things of that sort, are out of this world. Most of these statistics are vague or even false. And who do these stats go to? The public who spreads it to the people who make these unimportant issues worldwide, of course. In 2013, Pepsi made a false statement about Beyonce, saying that she sold 100 million albums worldwide. Of course, all of Beyonce's fans and many other people believed this and ended up getting their hopes up when they found out this wasn't true. Why do this to the public? You already know what they're attracted to, but still, the media should teach the public to place their attention on the real news. By broadcasting these lies, they're wasting everybody's time and energy. What I'm basically saying is that the media should limit the broadcasting of news, asking people if ice cream tastes better than like whipped cream and vice versa, and start informing the people about President Obama and his plans for the country. Because 21st century news has really gotten out of control.
Having never lived before the 90s, it is virtually impossible for me to reminisce on what news was like before compared to what it's like now. Being the researcher that I am, I searched for old news clips. What I found was surprising. Not even 20 years ago, the news seemed to have completely different platforms to gain viewers. After watching countless videos, there were few similarities I found to be relevant. Instead of what is shown today, news deemed relevant to air was about prison breaks, global issues, natural disasters, taxes, elections, the court systems, and etc. This is not to say that the news today contains none of this, but it's definitely hard to find, and it's often overshadowed by celebrities or the latest trends. One of the scariest things I've seen on news today was when a news reporter actually interrupted an interview to report about Justin Bieber being arrested. First off, that shouldn't have been surprising to anybody, but secondly, it took away from actual news to be presented. During that day that Justin Bieber got arrested, the first deaths in the Ukraine were reported. Israel accused 3 individuals of planning an attack against the U.S. Embassy. Millions of citizens learned that they qualified for health plans, and Obama vowed to fight the rape crisis on college campuses. Important issues like this were drowned out by Justin Bieber, and in the past, based on memory, that just wouldn't have happened. See, in the past, news was taken more seriously. The anchors were there to inform, and if they consequently were entertaining while doing it, well, that was a plus. Nowadays, news anchors are here to entertain, and if by fault they inform, well, that's a miracle. Just reminiscing on this past year, I realized that what the media truly is. Before TOK, I never really recognized actual news, meaning real, national, local, and global issues. But after attending the class, it's become clear that society has jaded my perception of what news is. Before, I thought news was boring because it talked about things that I wasn't interested in or talked about things that too many people were interested in. I don't care about celebrities, and I've never cared about what U.S. Senate has lied again, because those things aren't interesting. It is not until taking this class did I realize real news is about genocide and the mistreatment of others, or triumphs in those who truly deserve it. Real news affects true life, and using memory, that's not something I've seen in a very long time.
Because people are caring less about what happens around the world, the media knows that if they talk about news that is more important and what really matters, they won't really get as many views. So they revolve their news around what most people are interested in hearing. Also, news such as politics, national, and world news are news that is so common that people want something to spark their interest when watching news. People want to be entertained when watching news. Sometimes things get a bit repetitive, so people stop getting interested in important news if it is repetitive. The increase in technology has led people to care less about what is truly important in the news. News such as the new iPhone and trending apps in music. It's like news that a lot of news reporters like to talk about. They just report on what interests people. This is a problem because it makes society small-minded and doesn't increase the opportunity for people to know what is going on around their world. It leads people to be less educated. People have the power to influence the media to talk about what they want. So we should be using our power to talk about what is truly important. So that is it.
Thanks for watching!
As you may have heard, there's a new dance sweeping the nation called the Flappy Bird. It goes like this.
Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird.